Okay, good morning, students. So I hope everyone is going through my previous videos. Uh, so we'll be moving to the next topic. So our next topic is moment of momentum equation. Okay, the previous topic was momentum equation or momentum principle. Okay, so next is moment of momentum principle. So this concept is applicable for sprinkler or turbines or centrifugal pumps. So we'll go through the definition. So this states that the moment of momentum equation is derived from the momentum principle, which states that the resultant torque acting on a rotating fluid is equal to the rate of change of momentum. Correct? So this is the important statement. The resultant torque acting on a rotating fluid, is equal to rate of change of momentum. Okay. So for this purpose, we will be using one sprinkler. So this is a sprinkler, C-type sprinkler. I hope everyone knows what is sprinkler. We use this in lawn or a garden for sprinkling of water. So for this sprinkler, let we will be using this point as a point through which the water will be entering into the system. Okay. So first of all, you have to understand that these are the these are the 2 points, first and second. This is the outlet of this system. Okay, and this is the inlet. The pipe will be the pipe or tap will be connected to this point, through which the water will be entering into the system, and this is the point at which the nozzles are connected. Okay, so this is the nozzle. We'll be drawing nozzle. Okay, so next point is we'll be assuming some components. So let V1 be the velocity of our water discharging outside. Okay, and V2 will be velocity at point 2. Okay, and R1 will be radius of curvature at section 1 through the center of the tap, and similarly R2 is the radius of curvature from center of tap to the second section. Okay, so I have written it here. V1 is the velocity of fluid at section 1. R1 is the radius of curvature at section 1. Q is the rate of flow of fluid, means it is discharge. Next is rho. Rho is the density of fluid, and V2 and R2. V2 is the velocity of fluid at second outlet, and R2 is the radius of curvature at second section. Okay. So our next step is to find the moment of fluid. Momentum of fluid. So to get the final equation of this concept, first of all we have to determine what is the momentum equation. Correct? So I hope everyone has gone to the momentum principle. So momentum principle states that the momentum acting on any fluid, rotating fluid or a passing fluid, is equal to the rate of change of momentum. Correct? And the rate of change of momentum, we can write it as a mass of a water passing per second into change in velocity. We have done it in the previous derivation. So this is the mass of water passing per second in multiplying by change in velocity. Correct? So for this derivation, we will be taking at velocity as the velocity through which it is coming outside. Okay? So we will be using it as a V1, and this is the mass of fluid per second. So we have written it as a rho into Q. Okay, so this part is also considered in the previous derivation. So this is rho into Q into V1. Okay, so this equation rho Q V1 is the total momentum of fluid at section 1, and our aim is to find the moment of momentum. So to calculate the moment of momentum, we have to multiply this equation with the radius of curvature. So the radius of curvature at section 1 is R1, correct? At section 1, the radius of curvature is R1. So we will be multiplying this equation with R1. So we will be getting moment of momentum equation. So the moment of momentum per second at section 1 is rho q v1 into r1. Okay. Similarly, for second section, moment of momentum per second at second section is rho q v2 into r2. Correct. So both the equations are same. Just this is v1 into r1 for first section, and this is v2 into r2 for second section. Okay. So as per the derivation states that the resultant torque is equal to rate of change of momentum. So to calculate the rate of change of momentum, we have to find the difference. Correct. The rate of change of momentum will be equal to rho into q v2 r2 minus rho into q v1 r1. Simply subtracting these two values, so it will be rho into q because it is common for both the terms. So in bracket v2 r2 minus v1 r1. Okay. So according to definition, the definition is resultant torque is equal to rate of change of momentum. So we have calculated or find out the equation of this. It is rho q v2 r2 minus v1 r1. So we will be simply write it here, and the resultant torque will be written as a T. So this is the final equation for momentum equation. Okay. So basically, this equation is mainly used for to calculate the value of T. Correct. To calculate the value of a resultant torque, or also it is used to calculate the value of angular speed of a rotating fluid, of a rotating sprinkler. Okay. So our next is application. So above equation is applied for turbines, centrifugal pumps, or it is also used for finding the torque exerted by the water on the sprinkler. As I said before, it is also used to find the torque on the rotating sprinkler. Okay. Okay. So our next topic is the numerical based on momentum equation. So basically we will be using this equation to solve the numerical. Okay. And this is a common type of a numerical which is compulsory. Compulsory it is coming in the exam, so it's better you understand it properly. So the question is a lawn sprinkler with two nozzles of a diameter 4 mm. So the statement is the lawn sprinkler with the two nozzles of diameter 4 mm. So it said that there are two nozzles, okay, of a diameter 4 mm. Each is connected across the tap. So they have clearly mentioned that both the nozzles are of 4 mm. Correct. The diameter remains constant for the both nozzles across the tap of the water as shown in the figure. So there are 2 points, first and second. This is the first outlet, second outlet, and they have connected two nozzles outside, and the diameter remains same. And there is a tap of the water at this point. The nozzles are connected at a distance of 30 cm and 20 cm from the center of the tap. So this is nozzle at a distance of 20 cm from center of the tap, and second nozzle is connected at a distance of 30 cm from the center of the tap. So we can say that the tap is not at the center. Correct. Okay, so we will be moving ahead. The rate of a flow of a water through tap is 120 centimeter cube per second. Okay, rate of a flow of water means what? It is a discharge. The amount of a discharge from the tap into this system. So basically you should understand that this 120 centimeter cube per second of water is flowing through pipe into this system. This is not the discharge from this system towards outside. So basically 120 centimeter cube per second of water is entering into this system. Means what? This is the tap. It will be connected to pipe, and 120 centimeter cube per second of water is entering through this point. So obviously this discharge will be divided into two if the diameter of this point remains constant. Correct. So this will be 60 and this will be 60, correct? 60 cm³ per second, 60 cm³ per second, correct? The nozzle discharges water in the downward direction. The nozzle discharges water in downward direction. Determine the angular speed at which the sprinkler will rotate free. One more, our aim is to find this the angular speed. As I said, angular speed means what? This omega. The rotation angular speed of this sprinkler at which the sprinkler will rotate free. They have clearly mentioned that the sprinkler will rotate free means what? The external torque is equal to 0. Correct? The external torque applying on the sprinkler is equal to 0 means what? The sprinkler is rotating free. Okay? So if these statements come, then we can take the torque as equal to 0. Okay, so we will be moving to the solution. So first of all, they have given diameter. Diameter at A is equal to diameter at B equals to 4 as they have given only one diameter, so it's obviously the diameter of both the nozzles are same, correct? So it will be equal to 0.004 meter. Next, area is equal to pi by 4 into d square. So it will be pi by 4 into 0.004 square. Next is, so we got this area 0.00120000 4 times 0 1256 meter square. Next is discharge equals to 120 cm³ per second. Note that the 120 cm³ per second is the discharge of water from pipe to the sprinkler. Okay. So 120 is not the discharge through the nozzle. It's an important point. Note that 120 is not the discharge through the nozzle. This is the amount of water passing into this sprinkler from this point. Correct? So next point is, assuming the discharge to be equally divided between the two nozzles, we have discharge at A equals to discharge at B equal to 120 divided by 2, which is equal to 60 cm³ per second, correct? So obviously this 120 will be dividing into 2, so it will be 60 cm³ per second, which is equal to 60 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter³ per second, correct? Next is velocity of a water at the outlet of each nozzle. So to find the velocity, if we know that discharge equals to area into velocity, so the velocity will be equal to discharge by area, correct? So to find the velocity at A and B, so discharge it will be equal to discharge upon area. Discharge equal to 60 into 10 raised to minus 6 divided by area, so it will be 4.77 meter per second, correct? So we can say that this is the velocity of water at point A and at point B. Okay, so we'll be seeing ahead. First of all, you should understand that this is the velocity which is a normal velocity. In this velocity, we have not taken the angular velocity. Means what? We have to take angular velocity with respect to angular speed. So for that purpose, we will be using that. Let W equals to angular velocity of the sprinkler. Okay, we can use it W or omega. We will be using it as omega. Omega is equal to angular velocity of the sprinkler. So for that purpose, there will be new velocity, which will be absolute velocity. As I said that this is a normal velocity, it is not the final velocity. Okay. So absolute velocity of the water at A is given by V1 equals to VA plus omega into RA. First of all, you should know that omega into RA is the tangential velocity due to rotation. If we have to calculate any tangential velocity, then we should know that what is the angular velocity, and what is the uh, radius of curvature. So to find the tangential velocity, we have to add it with the normal velocity. Add or subtract, it depends upon the condition. So in this condition, we have to add the velocity. If you see in the diagram, there might be condition might be arisen that you might be confusing what we have just added. So for that purpose, if you see the diagram, the 4.77 meter per second of a velocity of fluid is velocity of water is coming outside, correct? So as I said, this is the normal velocity, and in this purpose we have to add tangential velocity of water, correct? And in this purpose, we have given that omega. This is the rotation speed. This direction of this omega depends upon the value of radius of curvature, and it is in an anti-clockwise direction, correct? So this will be in anti-clockwise. Why? Because the moment created at this point and this point, if we compare the moment at this point and this point, so the distance is here 30 centimeter and here it is 20 centimeter. So obviously this distance is greater than this, so it will be moving in anti-clockwise direction. So we can use that. You can directly say that the direction of omega will be anti-clockwise, correct? Correct. So one more thing I can explain you that. Just listen carefully. A jet of water coming out from the nozzle at A and B is having a velocity of 4.77 meter per second, correct? So we have calculated it as a normal velocity. This jet of water will exert a force in the opposite direction. So if the jet is coming downward direction, it will create a force on the opposite direction. In upward direction. That is the force exerted by the jet will be in upward direction, correct? The torque exerted will also be in the opposite direction, okay? Hence the torque at B will be in the anti-clockwise direction, as I said before. Hence the torque at B will be in anti-clockwise direction, and at A it will be in clockwise direction. But the torque at B is more, correct? Why? Because the distance is more, radius of curvature is more, correct? So we have used that omega will be in anti-clockwise direction. So but torque at B is more than the torque at A, hence this sprinkler is free and it will rotate in anti-clockwise direction as shown in the figure, correct? So obviously if it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, so the velocity at V1 will be increasing than this value, correct? So 4.77 plus tangential velocity, correct? And for this purpose at VB, the velocity will be VB means this value minus tangential velocity, because the at point B the sprinkler is rotating anti-clockwise but the water is coming in clockwise, so it will be decreasing. But in this purpose at point A the water is coming down in downward direction, and also the sprinkler is rotating in clockwise direction. So at point A it will be added, and at point B it will be subtracted, correct? I hope you got this. So at point V1 it will be VA plus tangential velocity, correct? We know the value of RA equals to 20 centimeter, 0.2 meter. Similarly, absolute velocity at B equals to VB minus tangential velocity due to rotation. It is omega into RB, correct? RB is equal to 30 centimeter. We have given it in the question, so it will be converting into meter, 0.3 meter. but don't confuse in this why we have added and why this is subtracted. Okay, if you don't get this, message me or call me. I will once more I will clear it out. Okay, so this is the final equation of velocity at 1, and this is the final equation at second point. Okay, so now applying the equation of momentum equation. So the momentum equation says that it is equal to rho into q v2 r2 minus v1 r1. So we will be using same principle. So it will be rho t is equal to rho into q v2 r2 minus v1 r1. So torque equals to 1000, rho is 1000 into q. Q is equal to 60 into 10 raised to minus 6, correct? So it will be 60 into 10 raised to minus 6, correct, into V2. V2 will be, this is V2, 4.77 minus omega into 0.3. So this is V2 into RB. So into RB is 0.3, correct, minus, here is minus, it will written as minus, bracket V1. So V1 is 4.77 plus omega into 0.2. So I have written same, into RA. RA is 0.2 meter. It will be 0.2 meter. Okay. So next point is the torque is equal to 0. As I said that in question it is mentioned that the sprinkler is rotation. The rotation is free. Means what? The external torque applied is equal to 0. Correct. So since there is no external torque, means obviously the value of a torque is 0. So we will be putting t equals to 0. So the equation is 0 equals to whole equation. So obviously in this equation omega is the only unknown. Okay. So if you solve this equation, you get omega equals to 0.477 divided by 0.13. So the final value is 3.6746 radian per second. So this is the final angular speed in radians per second, correct? So I hope you understand this numerical and also you understand this concept. If you don't understand, please message me or call me. I will be trying to solve it as easily as possible. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much.